Good morning, everyone. It's Rivka. We are playing some more Pokemon SoulSilver, and we're ready to sweep another gym. This is a Nuzlocke run, so there is always the chance something horrible happens. I'm assuming it's the one in the middle, but we're going to clear through this gym, ideally with one Pokemon. We'll see how it goes, but I am pretty confident that Choice Scarf Alakazam. I considered Specs, but I think Scarf is gonna be a little safer with the potential for like Crobats, mostly. So yeah. This is Janine's Poison Gym. Janine is, I believe, Koga's daughter? There we go. They tried to do a cool story thing in this by having the new non-veteran gym leader, the youngest gym leader, have a lower level Pokemon than the rest of the gym leaders in this region. However, the problem is all of her Pokemon are still like they're lower level than the Elite Four that we beat to get here. So it ends up as another disappointment. There are a few here that could be scary under the right circumstances. Even some relatively okay coverage, but I think most of the ones that have coverage moves are lower level than the ones that don't, so it doesn't matter. Basically, if you're going into this, I suppose if you were going in with a ground type, you might be in trouble, because with the multiple bug types, they do have that coverage where bug is strong against ground, and Crobat and Weezing both are flying and have levitate, respectively. But yeah, I think overall, it's not my favorite design. This Weezing in particular is one that could be really scary under other circumstances. But at the end of the day, it's 5 low-level, mediocre Pokemon. Or poorly used Pokemon. So we're under 3 minutes in and I've completed the gym. Actually, that's another good point that she just made, that you already defeated her father Koga by the time you get to her. Who has almost the same team except for better. We have to walk back out the same way we came. Okay, well, that was a good video. No. I figured this one was going to be short. Honestly, a lot of these gyms, I feel like the hard part of the gyms are done before the videos start. In that it's all about... See, this is 18, which we do actually need to catch. Most of it comes down to the research I'm doing ahead of time. Like, it's not just, oh, Alakazam can sweep that gym. It's, if I'm at level 50, and I have the IVs and EVs that this Pokemon has, Do they have the ability to sweep this gym? Do I need to use one of the choice scarf or choice specs to do that? The answer is no in this case. You know, what happened? Do they have any counterattacks? Like, there's always a pretty good chance with those types of having Sucker Punch. That could be really scary against an Alakazam. You know, being aware of what their outs are and how I could screw up. And, I mean, unfortunately for Janine, the answer is no. This was no chance. So maybe that was a bad example. Actually, a better example. When I was prepping for Lieutenant Surge, I ended up going with our new Dodrio. The reason I did that was actually because I tested it in the damage calculator. I did all the math and found that all of my existing Pokemon would be potentially in trouble. Golem can't sweep through the electric gym. It can do the damage it needs, but it's gonna take hits in return, and that adds up over the course of 5-6 Pokemon. And then you have to switch into another Pokemon, and a couple of Lieutenant Surge's Pokemon have moves like Low Kick and Iron Tail, I think. And while those aren't individually scary, you know, Golem can take several hits from those guys. It added up, and it was still at least a risk, because you're taking every single hit. And honestly, even if you're just taking the hit, you're putting yourself at risk of things like you're putting yourself at risk of other things like critical hits, where suddenly all of your math is off, and you know, it's an okay chance that happens. That's fine. We're gonna give out a smoke ball here. The other Pokemon I was looking at for Lieutenant Surge was our Hitmonlee, who we had previously used really effectively, because they were our primary Earthquake user during the Elite Four fights. And I was like, okay, this will be easy. We just have them sweep again. I wasn't taking into account when I was starting out planning it that Hitmonlee does great damage, but it doesn't have same type attack bonus with that Earthquake. There we go. By the way, just to make sure the actual things going on are being addressed, dupe on Fearow, we already have one, which means that we can catch a Grimer. Yeah, that Hitmonlee could take out several of Lieutenant Surge's Pokemon, but could not take out all of them. And then I again had to address, okay, so if you can't address it, what are you going to do? I'm not sure we're actually using Grimer here, but Cycling Rude is for cyclists. Oh, we didn't get the bike. Wait, did we not get a bike at some point? Is the bike not until this? Okay. I never use the bike in Pokemon games. We need to get to Cycling Road eventually, so... But yeah, it basically came down to a lot of variations in math, and then I was like, wait a minute. I literally have in my notes that I can get this, this Dodrio. What do their sets look like? And I went through, they get Earthquake, did the math. Wait, they're in Goldenrod? Did I seriously just skip the bike and it's now screwing me over? My beautiful plans! I'm gonna see if I can get there from the other side quick, I guess. Basically, we're trying to get... we're trying to eliminate all of the options so that we can then catch something at... on another route by eliminating all of the duplicates on that route. Particularly this route, so we cannot catch something on this route or encounter anything on this route. Very quick route to Celadon. Let's see if we can get to the Cycling Road from this side. 16. I think this is going to tell me again. You have to be on a bicycle to go on the Cycling Road. That's really annoying. Okay. That is how the game has worked, you know, since the first game. So I guess I shouldn't complain too much. Let's see, we need to go to Saffron, right? So where do they sell the bikes? Oh, is it in the underground? I kind of rushed through Goldenrod when I got here, so... You know what? I don't want to go back and forth, and we've got one other piece of backtracking to do, so I'm going to pause real quick here, and I will be right back. Okay. We're going to be doing some time shenanigans back and forth here a bit, and hope that the game doesn't complain. Because some of these Pokemon that I'm going to be trying to catch are only available at night, and some of them are only available during the day. I was probably to be very angry. No, Morty, I'm good. Thanks. Sorry, I'm just really busy. Awesome. So this was blocked off until you had the rainbow wing. Thought Raticate was day only, so I'm slightly nervous now that I didn't go far enough. There we go. There we go. This one I did look up ahead of time. And that's all I wanted to do. So we will now head back. Okay, we're back in beautiful Fuchsia City. It is day again. We have gone back in time. Probably should have thought about this a little bit more. The saving grace I have is, of course, that Clayton is able to use Spore. That's not good. Don't do it. I only have 4 charges of Psychic left. Charmeleon? Okay, I'm going to need to pay a lot more attention here. I don't really feel like running all the way back. So I am going to burn an ether here quick. To refill the PP on Psychic. I don't want to do the whole road, ideally. We're going backwards. Do you want to have a speed battle? Why would you bring a coughing to a speed battle? let's just be very clear here. When I said, when I was talking about how good Alakazam is, just from a damage perspective, it's easily one of the most powerful early Pokemon, just in terms of raw damage output. But it only has, or its move variety and its defenses are significantly lacking. I should have gone the other way. I didn't actually look at the map on this beforehand. That would actually be slightly, like, that might have actually had a chance at surviving if it was evolved. It's a pretty bulky Pokemon, and yeah, we should have gone at the top. We already have a Grimer, so we don't need to catch the Muck. Duplicate's Claws. I believe this is another guarantee, because of Duplicate's Claws, which was the idea. So I've done this on a couple routes now where I've caught one to eliminate the chances of what you're getting, you know, catch one thing in one route to make sure that you catch another thing in another route. So with these ones, the big thing is you have to go backwards. So if you go 16, 17, 18, or 7, 16, 17, 18, you still are going to get some of these same Pokemon, but by the end you'll have caught all of them. Whereas Route 7 has a unique Pokemon that the others don't. So pretty much all of these routes have Fearow, Grimer, which were the first two. Route 17, which is what we should be on, has a 35% chance of being a Slugma. Which has a chance to turn up in a few other places. That's not what I wanted to do. And I'm gonna be really upset with myself if I accidentally let Clayton die here. Luckily, this is an NPC, or luckily, this is a wild encounter, so it does not go towards using super effective moves. Because if it used a fire move there, it would have hurt a lot more. I think a level 50 Parasect can still take that hit, but you never know. So Slugma and Magcargo are probably not going to get used on this. However, with Slugma in hand, we're going to be able to move on to the next route. We do have to make it night again, so it's going to be a very brief respite here. That brings us to 16. Wait, where's the encounter for 16? I'm very confused. Okay. I figured out what I needed to do. And it's over here. So I believe, I'm gonna double check my Pokegear first, because this is important. This is still 16. It's here. Okay. That's random. This one, I believe, is only a 10% chance. So we may be here a little longer. There we go. So, as you can see, we had to catch a... We had to catch a Grimer. And the... I'm just getting slightly nervous here. Sorry. Well, that was not the poison or the effect I wanted, but it'll do. It does also put us on a timer. Let's do Dusk Ball. Yeah, Slugma and there we go. Slugma and Grimer are the most common Pokemon to catch here. We had to do that to catch Murkrow, who is not the Pokemon we're looking for yet. Honchkrow could actually be usable potentially, but I do still have several good flying Pokemon. And the potential for at least one more good flying Pokemon with our, if we end up getting our shiny stone. I'm very confused right now. Go away, Celadon. I am gonna heal quick just because I haven't since the since before the gym battle, outside of that one ether. Okay. And that brings us to Route 7. So this is what we did. Actually, several things that we've set up. So we already had Raticate and Persian, which takes out 40% of the field. I believe that's the right math. 45% of the field. There is a 20% chance to get a Vulpix here. Now, we already got a Vulpix. To get the Vulpix, we had to get an Abra on a previous route to guarantee the Vulpix on another route. Then we had to get the Grimer and the Magcargo to make sure that these Murkrows were duplicates. If you're counting along, Murkrow is 30%, Meowth 30, Vulpix 20, Raticate 10, Persian 5. That means we have a whopping 5% chance of pulling up our goal Pokemon for this, and honestly, one of the most important Pokemon for the next chunk of the run for me. Houndour. Now, in addition to just being a good Pokemon, I have really never used Houndoom, and then I used it during my... I used Mega Houndoom pretty extensively during my Reborn run. There we go. And it was like, okay, this is actually a really solid special attacker. At the time, or when I had first used it, like when I first played these games, I had always seen like Crunch and Fire Fang and assumed it was a physical attacker, and that was part of the reason it felt so mediocre. But special attack, speed, pretty solid. Fire Dark is some pretty solid coverage. Talked a lot about coverage on fire types. And now you know part of the reason why. Sorry, Tom. And as a personal thing, my friend Kat has gotten screwed over on pretty much every Pokemon run I've done. Like, Persian and Liepard and a few of those have had their place. But she's not a cat person, even though her name is Cat. And I always make that joke that she gets stuck with it. During my Reborn run, I did end up getting her Arcanine, but by the time I got it, it wasn't able to get used a ton. And after the... blanking on what that Pokemon even was, which is really sad. It was Goldeen. After Goldeen ended up being the one where I was like, the only person I have left is Cat. I feel bad because Goldeen is not a great Pokemon. I tried to make the best of it, completely botched it in that gym battle. Joey, you are the biggest problem. So with all of that, I was like, okay, when I get to Kanto, I'm gonna make Cat something special. I was planning on using one of the starters, and because I know that Cat loves Charizard. And then I found out you can't get those until post-game. No Charizard. And so with all of that, we end up here. I was looking for a fire type to use because Typhlosion wasn't quite fast enough for one of the gyms coming up. And didn't have... I just needed a little bit more coverage to make them able to fit in on some of the multi-party teams and such. And so with that, Houndoom is Dark, which is immune to Psychic. Gives us a real switch-in move. Less, more. Okay. One of the other things here. Celadon has TMs. We're gonna buy 4 copies of Return. Charmed. We have to figure out what they are as well. Torment or Taunt. I actually do want a copy of. Oh, I already had a copy. Whoops. Torment. Dig. I'm gonna get an extra copy of Dig just to be safe. We usually have an escape rope, so it doesn't matter. Safeguard. This, I think, is Dark Pulse. And I want to say this is Avalanche again. Let's see if I got my my stuff right there. Dig, Torment, Thief, Avalanche, second Dark Pulse. Yep. I didn't mention it earlier, but we also did just get Poison Jab from Janine, which is a great move. Poison Jab is the best physical poison attack in this generation. Honestly, it's one of the best in general. I guess Cross Chop, there's an argument. No. Okay. I'm very confused, but that's kind of cute that Janine and Faulkner are arguing over there. I'm just gonna quick double check to make sure there's nothing else here. The other thing we could technically do is the Celadon City Game Corner. But it doesn't actually help us. The Pokemon that are available are Porygon, who is good if we could fully evolve it, or if we had Eviolite. However, with neither Eviolite or the ability to get Porygon Z, Porygon's pretty mediocre. We can get Eevee, who is by all means great, but I don't think we need it. I will say Eevee is gonna... Actually, that's probably the best way to put it. Eevee is a backup. We know we could get an Eevee encounter here, and honestly, maybe that's what I should just do quick. But no, I don't care about hidden power. I don't know if I actually have enough coins. I think I should still. We got plenty. That's right. So yeah, I'm gonna grab Eevee. Not because I'm expecting to use it. My intention there is if something happens and we lose our Houndoom, if we end up in a bad situation where we suddenly need a bulky water type, if we need a new dark type, electric type, you know, whatever we need, that's the point of Eevee, is it can be anything. So that gives us a lot of flexibility, and I don't feel like we need to use it now. We have good coverage. But this is a backup. Heck, we could even do Espeon if we needed another psychic type. The big downside here is, and the reason I didn't try and get Eevee earlier, is because there's not a lot of elemental stones in this game. So it ends up being a bit rough. It doesn't really feel worth it. But that is a problem for another day. Because in the meantime, Eevee is cute and can sit in our box with our other Pokemon that we're waiting to potentially evolve later. We'll get to do that next video on at least one of them. So, hopefully you're still enjoying. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.